different times, and I don't object to using
Bill's
commercial
not-
paper. We're trying to get the maximum amount of money out, you know, as legally possible,
so are we,
physically.
That's exactly what we
responsible.
prepared.
We don't really have a cash flow problem.
Not
I mean,
for 2
we can
years.
meet that with commercial paper if we need to, and, you know,
The problem is that.
let me just ask this,
Okay.
are you taking into consideration that this is a renewing fund every year instead of using bond proceeds that are exhausted?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a cash flow model, it's not a bond model.
Okay. And the second question is, you've associated, I don't know, some categories of expenditures. Are these specific projects, or are these just categories of expenditures that you kind of propose, the money is proposed to be used for? Or do you know the answer to that question?
I'm unclear, Councilmember.
Well, the last part of the amendment says that the money shall go allocate the 19 million to the following line items. You know, it talks about concrete panel replacement, location B, whatever. Are these specific projects, or is it the general categories?
They are projects that are programmatic type projects within the current
They're programmatic, but they're not associated with any particular location in the city.
That's correct.
Thank you.
They will get specific as they're implemented.
Yeah, but this amendment doesn't allocate the money to any specific project, just to a specific program.
I would agree with that. I understand.
Councilmember, can I take some of your time real quick? What the intent was, because we could advance projects from 16 to 15, but we have 11 district council members. And so what we decided to do is put it into categories that were citywide and let Public Works prioritize which ones they would
Okay.
use.
Great, thanks.
Councilmember Bradford.
Thank you, Mayor. Director Kruger and Ms. Bandap tried to follow up the discussion on this issue. But let me say, I'm not a teacher, not a CPA, not an engineer, just a turned green farmer from North Louisiana. No. So try to bear with me here. This is a recurring funding account. So are you saying that in Davis's and subsequently Costello's or Crawford amendment in chief here, would it reference the now free $31 million from the drainage account, that if we were to spend those dollars as proposed, 4042 would go negative, you said FY17?
It could in 16, but I believe it would in 17.
Now, what data you use to support that projection?
Basically, the way that the cash model works is that you appropriate, right? And you appropriate a big number. 123 million is what's in new appropriation in proposed in CIP for next year for 4042, plus some carryover some of the funding that I mentioned earlier that we found we used some of the money for additional projects. And so when you appropriate $150 million next year in 4042, then you're not going to spend virtually any of it next year. You might spend a little bit, but you're going to be getting the documents on the street, getting the contract together, getting it to council. And so by the time they do the notice to proceed and get started, it's not going to happen until the following year, any of the spend. So then they'll spend a certain amount next year, then they'll spend a certain amount the following year. And based on modeling how that spend occurs, as you increase the CIP, which we're doing every year, then that number gets bigger and those out years of spend get bigger, and the incoming revenue is not keeping pace with the increasing amount of cash going out, and therefore it starts going down. In this particular case, if you look at the beginning estimated fund balance, we're estimating we're going to end this year at 75 million. We're estimating we're going to end next year at 52 million. Estimating, based on just our modeling that we've already got without this 31 million, that we would end the next year at around 30 million. And so you see how the plan is, as the CIP grows, the cash balances go down.
Okay, I think I see where you are, what evidence you're using to base your projections on. So as I understand it, at this point, it's purely a policy decision. There's not a financial reason why we could not approve Councilmember Davis' amendment today with the proviso, as he indicated, that if we need to adjust or a year, 2 years down the road, we could do an adjustment. That's nothing from a financial standpoint would impact us with this amendment today.
I can't disagree with that statement.
Pardon me?
I cannot disagree with that statement.
Wait. You said you cannot disagree, but do you agree with it? Do you concur?
Okay, just like you described yourself, I'm the CPA. And so from my perspective, setting something up to where I believe it's going to go negative in 2 years is not fiscally sound.
Fair
So-
enough. Fair enough, but you make an assumption that this body actually does fiscally sound things.
I hope so.
You just stated her opinion.
Let me simply say that I think there's room to do the amendment and come back with adjustments if need be, whether it's next year or 2 years down the road. So for that reason, I will be supporting it. Thank you for your commentary, because it's very helpful